Okay, so I went ahead and created a Google Drive account and put some resources in there for you to use, some learning material, as well as some trade trackers and a trading plan. Now, all of these are going to be key. You're going to need to use them fairly regularly or often. You'll have the trade tracker. Both of these are in Excel. You can use either one. There's two of them to choose from. And then there's this Ota Ebook. Okay. This pretty much is going to be 244 pages, but it includes everything that you need to know regarding the online trading academy strategy. I mean, it goes into very good detail regarding all the little ins and outs. Okay. So you're going to want to take a look at that. There's also this reference guide here. It's nice and large where you can see it fairly clearly. You can print this, you can download it, and pretty much it's just got reference material for prostal and distal line placement rules, zone structure, reward to risk ratios, in regards to strength, the odds enhancers, time, profit zone, freshness, trend curve, and etc. So just reference material, but it's good to have available. I did not mean to close that out. Okay, and then one of the most important things in the Google Drive account, and again, I'll include all the links for those in the video, but it's going to be this trading plan. Okay, print this out, download it, read it, memorize it. You're going to want to stick to this. Just real quick. General rules: you never want to exceed 50% of your account balance when you're moving into a trade. So if you have $1,000 account balance, you never want to spend more than $500 on one trade. Okay. If you decide to invest in an asset and you're lining out or going through the process of determining where your zones are, you never want to risk more than 2% of your account balance in that trade. Okay. Also, if you did not score the trade, do not take the trade. If you're angry or feeling emotional, do not trade. If you figure or realize, you catch yourself that your thought process and the decisions you're making are based on hope, fear, or greed, do not trade. Stop immediately. Okay. And I know this might sound, maybe even a little corny, but you're gonna find out really quickly that there's a lot of psychology involved when it comes to trading, and most people, honestly, in my opinion, I don't hear them talk about it. But your emotions are gonna come up, fear is gonna come up. You might even find yourself a little stressed out. So you're gonna want to stick to these guidelines. Your stop buffer. That's going to come from your average true range. So the average true range you can find at finviz.com. You're just going to type in the ticker symbol right up here for whatever stock you want to look at. And then you're going to scroll down and find ATR here on the right hand side. And what you want to see is the ATR should be anywhere between 3 and 5%. And just real quick, average true range basically just means it's a way of measuring volatility. And if you look at it, see that little yellow box, it has the 14. Basically, the average true range goes back over the course of 14 days and looks at the average price movements from the lowest low that it made that day to the highest high that it made that day. And then it comes up with an average over the course of 14 days for that move. So what we want to find is an asset anywhere that has an ATR of anywhere between 3 and 5%. Okay, if it doesn't have that, then you don't want to trade it. And the reason for that is because when we go to take a position, we are looking for capital gains, or we're looking for a profit of anywhere between 1 to 3%. So if you have $100 in your account, then you're going to look for a gain of at least $1 for the day. If you get $1 or at least $1, then you're good. You don't need anything else. But that's what you want to look for. When you start out trading, you want to focus on percentages and strategy, technique. Don't worry about the dollar amounts. Okay. Stick to your trading plan. Identify the percentages and basically the goals and the markers that you want to hit, and let that drive you, not the money. Okay, let me go back. So again, your stop buffer is going to be 2% of the average true range. I think we looked at eBay, it was 1.86. So then to get your stop buffer, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1.86, you're going to multiply that by 2%. Your stop buffer comes out to 0.0372. You're going to round up. So your stop buffer for eBay would be 0.04, so 4 cents. So let's say you identify a demand zone, you identify a supply zone. Whatever the price is on your distal line, you are going to go beyond your distal line by 4 cents, and that's where you're going to place your stop loss. Okay? All right. Just continuing to go through this real quick. Account risk is going to be your account balance multiplied by 2%. Okay? So you never want to risk more than 2% of your account on any one trade. That's different than exceeding your account balance on a trade. If I want to go into a position, I have $1,000, I'm not going to spend more than $500. Within that $500, I'm not going to risk more than 2% of my total account balance. So let's say I have $1,000, 2% of that comes out to be, holy smokes, I can't think straight right now, $200 or $20. I'm tweaking, I can't think. Times 0.02. $20. Okay, I was right. Okay, trade risk is going to be your proximal line, the difference between your proximal line and your stop loss. Okay, that's your trade risk. Okay, and we already determined how to come up with the price for your stop loss. All right. Now, all of this is going to determine your position size. So you're going to take your max account risk of $20, I believe is our example. There's already examples built in here, so feel free to read it through. So let's say you have $1,000 in your account, and your account max risk per trade is going to be $20. You're going to take $20 and you're going to divide that by your trade risk, whatever that comes out to be. Okay, so let's say your trade risk comes out to be 50 cents. Then that's going to give you a position size of $10. Okay, now I'm sorry, not $10, excuse me, 10 shares. I apologize, sorry. So your account risk, you're going to take the $20, divide that by your trade risk, per our example was 50 cents, and that's going to give you the number 10, which means you can buy 10 shares of whatever stock you're looking at. Now, let's say those 10 shares are $13.34. That comes out to $133.40. So if you had $1,000 in your account per your example, that would be below your 50% account balance. So you would be okay to take that trade. And in fact, that would allow you to increase your position size if that's something you wanted to do. Okay, I know that may have sounded a bit confusing kind of going through it, but again, I included all those calculations in this trading plan. I probably spent the last 2 hours going over it, so everything should be correct, at least enough to where you can read it, understand it, and basically get the gist of how you need to go about using this information to take your positions, to determine your stop loss, to determine the max amount of money you want to spend on one trade, to determine the max amount you want to risk on one trade, and ultimately your overall position size. Okay? Anyway, I hope that helps, and good luck out there.